Sue, good morning to you.
Hi guys, how are you?
I'm good. Any more fallout from the Oscars? Anything else that you want to get annoyed about and get out about?
I feel like once I said about Nomadland, I just like there was a lot of people just going, "What is wrong with you? Like you're literally the only person who didn't have any kind of personal connection with this film." But I still stand by it. I still don't think it was as good as Promising a Woman. I know a lot of people disagree with me on that, but
big controversy amongst audiologists around the sound of metal as well. The politics of the community. They're very unhappy with how this was portrayed. They felt that there should have been like a more slow unfolding of the issues that were brought forward. There's a long read on the internet if you want to waste your time on that one. Actually, let's move on. What are we talking about this week?
Well, I don't know if you've seen. Have you seen Handmaid's Tale?
I saw the
Have you watched the first 3 seasons?
And most of the second, and then drifted away.
Yeah, I think that's what happened with a lot of people. Like I kept going, and I thought the third season was actually a little bit of a disappointment because you buy into the, just for anyone that hasn't seen it, it's this drama about this place called Gillette. It's a dystopian place that basically they've taken control of everything, and women are now, if you're a fallen woman, you're a handmaid, you're a Martha, you're a wife, you're basically put into a certain part of society. And Elizabeth Moss plays a handmaid who lives with the Waterfords. And like the series is brilliant, but it really makes you believe that Gilead is this really scary place that, you know, if you step out of line at all, you're going to die, you're going to end up in the wall. And what I'm finding hard to buy into now at this stage is that the rebellion is going so well. Because I always kind of went, oh, there's no way they would have got away with this 2 seasons ago. Now, maybe it's because Gilead is starting to collapse a little bit. Some of the ideology around it is starting to collapse. The Marthas are upset with what's happening to the children that's in the houses, stuff like that. So it is still really good, though. You know when you watch something and you're like, even on your bad day, you're still really good. And that's what I find about that. Like, I still want to watch the next episode. I'm still taking in, like, as soon as they showed, like, I saw the first 2 episodes of season 4, and it's out tomorrow night in RT2. But I really, like, they sucked me in with the roundup of everything that had happened. I was like, yes, I'm back in. I really want to watch this. So it's still good acting, still good script, still great story. I just think when they moved, the book doesn't really deal with this section. I don't know if you've read the book. Like, the book is one of my favorite books, and they kind of round that up in the last chapter very, very quickly. So they were working without source material. And I always find as soon as you move it outside source material...
I was actually trying to Google there what about the source material. So just explain, when did the book end in terms of the series?
So trying not to give anything away in case people haven't seen this.
But even in terms of the number of episodes, or which season?
So it would have been around the series 2. Now, they still kind of make reference to stuff that happens in the book, if you know what I mean. So it's not completely gone. But the end of the book is basically June kind of disappears from the book. And then you hear about this person that is supposedly called June, that was the leader of this rebellion. And it's kind of like an epilogue. It just happens very, very quickly. So they're basing all of the stuff that's a kind of the end of season 2, 3, 4, and stuff that they just have in one chapter. Whereas the first season was very faithful to the book, you know. Now
there's a second book called The Testaments that Margaret Atwood. And is that connected to the TV series or no?
So in some ways they just reference June because June became this huge big person in this rebellion, and very important person in rebellion. But it's about another handmaid, so it's kind of the end of Gilead. Like I really like The Testaments, but I felt like it didn't need it. Like The Handmaid's Tale is complete; it's a brilliant book. But they have some material in that they're able to go off, but it's still not as good as the original.
Have you seen any of this?
No, I haven't. But we were talking about it last week as well. It's a big series for it too.
Yeah, like I think it's just brilliant. There's something about The Handmaid's Tale when you're watching it that you like. Basically, Margaret Atwood, when she was writing, it was like everything that's in these books has happened in some way in the world to women, and that's a terrifying thought because there are really bad things that happen to women in these books. And I think it's really well depicted, and it's a great drama, and it's very smart. But yeah, I think they're delighted to get something like this season out because they were held back by COVID as well. So just having something that's this big is brilliant.
Okay, so that is on RTE Telly a little bit earlier than
RTE2.
the UK. That first, so the
It's
first
tomorrow night.
episode of season 4, is it, or season 3?
Season 4 is on at 10:30 tomorrow night, and you can get 1 to 3 on Amazon Prime if you want to go back and watch it.
Okay, all right. The Ian Wright Home Truths documentary on BBC.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen this yet. I just wanted to put it down as a pick because it's a BBC pick, so you don't really get access to the screeners around BBC. But I don't know if you guys have listened to his Desert Island Discs, where he talked about the abuse he suffered as a child, and his mother suffered from his stepfather, who was a very cruel man. Like, he talks in the podcast about how he used to make him stand against facing the wall when Match of the Day came on because he knew he wanted to watch it so bad. And he witnessed a lot of abuse in the house with his mother, who was regularly beaten up by his stepfather. Really harrowing listening. He gets very emotional on the podcast, and this is kind of a play on from that. It kind of moves on from that point, and he talks to people who are survivors. He speaks to a therapist. He goes back to his school. He goes back to the old house where all of this happened, which obviously must be a really difficult thing for him to do. But he talks about how 1.6 million women in the UK suffered domestic violence, and 90% of that was witnessed by a child. And often in those days, children were forgotten, and women had to be physically show signs of abuse before anything was done about it. So it's just, I would really recommend listening to the Desert Island Discs. He is brilliant on it, and this just looks really, really good. And it's obviously a topic that's very close to his heart.
Yeah. I haven't listened to the Desert Island Discs. And when is this on, sorry?
It's on tonight at 9 o'clock on BBC.
Okay. It's called Home Truths, and it's a documentary by Ian Wright. So some stuff that people might have missed. That's one of the best parts, and the things that people talk to us most about this slot is that you get some recommendations of stuff you might have missed.
Yeah, like, I always try and pick stuff as well that has a bit of meat in it, so you'll be able to go in and watch a few seasons or something. But I don't know if you guys have seen The Good Place on Netflix. I actually got really obsessed with this when it was out, and I couldn't wait because they were doing a week-by-week release on Netflix for this, which isn't obviously the way Netflix operate. It's Kirsten Bell, and she plays Eleanor, who is not the best person in the world, and she dies and ends up in the good place. And she realizes that she shouldn't be here, that she is not a good person, and everyone around her is a good person. So why is she here? And it's a lot of flashbacks to her life and why she was such a bad person, which are very, very funny. And Ted Danson plays the guy that kind of runs the good place. So you kind of believed him as God or one of those, like, he's not, he kind of makes a point that he's not God, but he basically runs everything. And it's just, I felt like the fourth season dropped off a little bit, but it's very, very funny. And the characters, and it's got this really, like, intelligent thing where it manages to build in philosophy about life and the afterlife around comedy. And I think that's, like, a massive achievement because it's just so hard to do. But the cast is brilliant and the writing is really good. And yeah, it drops off in the fourth season a little bit, but you always feel like they had written it as 4 seasons complete. It doesn't feel like it was dragged out at all. It was, this is the character arcs, this is where everyone's going to end up. So it's kind of satisfying in the end, but it's hard to end those kind of series when they're that good, you know?
And it's funny?
Yeah, really funny. Like, the first 2 seasons in particular are really funny. And Kirsten Bell is just hilarious in it, and it's because her life is so bad. Like, so there's some of the flashbacks of things that she's done, like made friends drive her home drunk, like just like slept with roommates, boyfriends, like everything you could imagine that she could do as a bad person, she does it, and she doesn't care. She's no remorse. So, but she's very good. She plays up to that, and she's just trying to cover that all up in The Good Place and make out like she's a good person, which is like, just makes it really, really funny.
Okay, so The Good Place on Netflix, 4 seasons, episodes half an hour long, roughly?
Yeah, 20 minutes. So it's kind of a nice one, you know. You might get 3 episodes in an hour, but you can binge watch it really easy, you know.
Okay, so that's our recommendation for stuff you might have missed. And then the fallout from Line of Duty has seen the writer taking to Twitter to abuse people.
This just went, now, I knew this was going to happen. How do you do 6 series of something that everyone is obsessed with and end it? And like, it was all points lead to this. This is going to be the reveal of H. I'm really trying to not give away spoilers because I've been warned by people working on the show not to give away spoilers. So it's it was going to be a tough thing to end. I
The
think
actor who played H is all over the internet banging on about how great it was for his family.
But people
and it's
have
in the
avoided
headlines.
it. But people have avoided it. Don't do it. Don't do it, Jar.
I'm not going to, but no, fair play for anybody who's got this far. And so, sorry, is the whole point of the full 6 seasons this reveal?
Yes.
That's
Yeah, so basically what they were looking...
a lot of weight, isn't it?
It is a lot, but they kind of reveal a good bit to you because basically you're trying to find, I don't know if this is a spoiler alert, it's not really, no, it's not, the fourth man. So there are people that are working for an organised crime organisation and they're involved in the police force, and there's 4 of them that are really high up in the police force and they're operating behind the scenes. You kind of have to figure out who they are. So try not to give anything away. But I actually liked the last episode, but my thing was like, that's pretty realistic. I mean, that could really happen. And everyone was like, no, I don't want realism. I want drama. I want real drama. And I was like, okay. But I was actually happy enough at the end. It was a satisfying end for me, I have to say.
You didn't get sucked into Line of Duty at all, did you?
Not at all, no. Again, missed the boat. The boat has drifted off, but I'm happy that it was... that it's wrapped up on a satisfying level for some people, I guess. I mean, everybody's going to get killed at the end of a TV show. It's impossible to wrap up a TV show, it seems. The best thing to do is just say, we're back next year, and then never come back.
Like Love Hate.
Yeah. That's the only way to properly end a TV show. If you tell somebody that you're done, nobody's going to be happy with it.
Overall, on balance, you thought Line of Duty Season 6 was good?
Me, yeah, definitely. I thought it was great. There was 2 episodes in this that were probably 2 of the best episodes across the entire... Like, there was one particular van chase in the 3rd episode, or no, the 4th episode, that is amazing. And I did like they kind of left it open enough. I don't think it's totally finished. I think they just kind of... They're gonna move on to something else. But I don't know if the main cast will be involved again. Adrian Dunbar is just brilliant in this. Really, really good.
All right, well, a late career flourish from Adrian Dunbar. A Dunbar-essence, is that what we're calling it? Sue, good stuff. Thanks very much.
No worries, thank you.
Sue's with us every Thursday to give you some recommendations to take you into the weekend.